Hello everybody. I'm out here today on this abandoned farm site. Got my metal detector. When I was out here actually looking for the house site, based on some old maps and such. And I thought, oh, I'll just look for the bottle dump too. And I happened to stumble upon that first, which is unusual. And from a distance, I saw that. So I haven't looked at anything yet. I haven't looked around. I don't know how big it is. Looks like there's quite a bit of stuff. Not terribly old, but base of a Coke from Hutchinson. That's interesting. 1947 date on that. That would have been awesome if it was whole, but it probably won't be any whole sodas in here. But I'll take a look around and get back to you if I find anything interesting. Well, it hasn't taken long. There's some older stuff in here. I got a Grain Belt beer. The cap's still on it. Not sure what this is going to be. It's embossed. Not to be refilled, so it's a beer or alcohol of some kind. This spot shows some promise. And the reason I got the camera out, well, there's just stuff everywhere. This looks old. Some numbers, but that's it. But that's old. That's much older than the type of farm dumps I'm used to finding, but this is why I actually turned the camera on. It's probably nothing interesting, but being some of the other stuff that we found, there's a possibility here. And it's busted. And it was blank. Completely blank. So, wouldn't have been anything interesting anyway, but definitely going to keep looking around, but it's difficult. This is thick in here. So, moving's pretty slow. Well, despite some initial excitement, there wasn't actually a lot here. A couple more, another grain belt that's broken. Pieces, some more unembossed beers and whatnot. This is interesting. I don't know if that's uranium glass or if it's just green, but it's a cup of some kind. Kind of interesting designed thing. Turn the camera on because of this. I'm sure it's just blank, but you never know. Sometimes there are Watkins or something. And then, after I decided to turn on the camera and was backing up, I noticed that. Which might almost be worth taking. I don't know. I don't need it. It's full of frozen dirt. No date code that I can tell. But it's kind of nice. I might grab it. Otherwise, I'm going to make one final run of the place, and that might be it. Well, upon venturing through the thicket, found another pile. Not a ton of glass here. Looks like mostly cans, but I'll sift through it. Maybe I can actually stand up over here, so maybe I'll just keep the camera on for a second. There's some glass. Not a lot. This doesn't look as old. It's pretty new. There was some older stuff at the last spot. product jars. Usual suspects. I don't even know what these are, but they're everywhere. Dumps of this era. It still has some contents in it. Broken bowls. Jar. Interesting one. Nothing spectacular. Still looking for the house site. It's right in here, I think. What do we got here? Milk glass. Well, that would have been nice. That's a nice color too. But they wouldn't have thrown that away if it was whole. Yeah, look at that. Electric fence insulator. Some plastic. Yeah, this is all newer stuff. Well, that's probably about it for this. Well, boy, it's been hard moving in here. Literally had to crawl. And I thought maybe I was seeing things on the old aerial photos, but I did find right over there the foundation of the basement of the house. So I'll check that out in a minute, but check this out. We got mangled bits of a car. Not enough here to identify it, but looks 20s probably. That's kind of neat. Now I gotta crawl back out of here. Let's go check out the foundation. Well, I've kind of given up on my plan to metal detect around the place. Better show it to you, I guess. So we got two main holes. A basement and something filled with water and ice, but I don't know how deep it is, so not going in there. There's some stuff I have to talk about in a minute down there because that looks really interesting. My plan was to come metal detect around here, and if I found any bottles or anything like that, well, that's a bonus. It's basically impossible to swing a detector back in this place because it's just so thick. But anyway, there's this hole, there's tons of stuff in it. It's still beep 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 with signals. Even though I've dug a bunch out, I'm kind of giving up on this hole. But that being said, some interesting stuff came out. We got the melted bits of a 7-Up bottle. This, I don't know what this is, but some sort of mechanical, electrical thing, all melted and whatever. But then this came out, and I should have filmed it, but I wasn't expecting anything good. Look at that. It's rusty, it's dangerous, but it's cool. I mean, probably gonna break it in half, but still works. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, I've kind of determined that no matter where I stand, you can't really get a good view of this place with the camera. That's where I was a minute ago. So this basement, stone walls, granite walls, pretty old. It's full of stuff. That doesn't look terribly old. I mean, I don't know, but there's a few interesting things that I'm gonna go down there and check out. First of all, there's some fake flowers. It's kind of odd, but that looks like an Art Deco soda bottle. I really hope it is. At first I thought it was a knee-high, but now that I look at it, I can't tell. I really hope that's what it is and it's not broken, but who knows. Other than that, lots of junk. There's like a fridge down in there. I'm gonna have to go over there to get in there, or at least to get out, I think. I can hop down in here anyplace, but it's maybe 5 feet deep. No idea how old this is, but if it's granite foundations, it's at least 1800s. No idea how long this farm's been abandoned, but it's been a long time. So I'm gonna head down there and check that out. Okay, now that I get closer, I don't think it's a pop bottle. I think it's probably a cup of some kind. But still, it could be neat, just because this is all newer stuff. And I mean, why would it be Art Deco? Because I mean, the aerial photo I was looking at where I found this place was from 1938, and the house was still here, so I'm sure it's newer, but and it's broken. Well, that was a cup. Not quite the bottle I was hoping it would be, but what else do we got? Tom Moore Swiss cream soda, 70s. There's some, whatever you call these, mason jar lids. I have a bunch of these. I don't really need any more, but if there's any in really nice shape, I guess I'll drag them out. But I'm gonna explore. We got, like I said, plastic flowers. This is really interesting. So I'm down here in the middle. This is where the stairs down would have been. Part of it's collapsed, but this is really neat. You don't see much stone stuff around from Minnesota, but a bunch more of these, and I really don't need them, but just set them here. Some of them are in really nice shape, but this one, it says something like, oh, I can't quite read, but 0870. Assuming that's the date that somebody put something in a jar with that lid on it. 1970. Most of the trash that's in here looks like it's from the 70s, so I'm gonna guess that this house was last occupied in the early 70s, or at least last standing. A lot of burned stuff, so maybe they burned it down. Threw a bunch of garbage down here, because that's what they did in the 70s. So, yeah. I got a little bit more to explore, and then I'm probably done here. But this is pretty neat. Well, this is the wrap up of everything I found. Start with some of the least interesting. Electric fence insulator, pulled it out on the camera. Little brown cork top. 3 ball jar lids. This one is what's interesting though. August 8th, 70. So we have an exact day of whenever that jar was put together with whatever contents it may have had in it. Interesting that they wrote in pencil on it and that it's still there after 56 years. And then finally, this is the most interesting, I think. Just because I've never found anything like it before. To be fair, I did find it with the metal detector and not just looking around, but what's left of a hatchet? It's very rusty. Would have had a wooden handle, it's long gone. But it's pretty neat. So yeah, that was the finds for a little exploration afternoon.